Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Mono Black Aggro with the brand newly printed Cecil Dark Knight. This is a 1-drop, 1 black mana, Death Touch. It's a 2/3. Whenever Cecil deals damage, you lose that much life. So you're going to lose 2 every time you attack, and even if it gets blocked. And then if your life total is 10 or less, you get to flip Cecil into Cecil Redeemed Paladin, which is a 4/4 lifelink with the protect keyword. Whenever Cecil attacks, other attacking creatures gain indestructible until end of turn. Pretty sweet card for 1 mana, and we're going to tear it up with this new card. We've got the classic Mono Black Aggro shell with tons of beats, 8 Goyfs. We've got the 4 Douthie. We've got the 4 Bowmaster. So this basically is the exact same 75 that I've been playing on my channel, except that instead of having Stalactite Stalker, we've got Cecil. We've got some Dark Writ into Hymn to Torok action. We've got 4 main deck Nile Spellbombs that are respect for all the graveyard strategies. Sideboard is double Edicts, 3 Opposition Agents, 4 Unmask. I think Unmask is really good right now in Mono Black. We got a couple Torpor Orbs and the 4 Ley Lines. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against Big D 1992. From his name, we can surmise that he was born in 1992. This hand is pretty sweet. I like Dark Ritual into Thoughtseize, and then we can jam the Douthie. No, let's jam the Douthie first, and then the Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's the correct order. Sorry, friends. Yeah, let's keep. And I like doing it that way. Like, it's certainly safer to just jam the Douthie, the Thoughtseize first. But the upside of being able to put like a Null Drifter into the Void is too huge to neglect. And it's worth noting that if they are in a different deck, like a combo deck, well, I mean, I could Thoughtseize into Nile Spellbomb, but I think this is fine. All right. And if they force this as a force we can use later, since we have the Void active. Okay, so pretty good hand. They've got Dress Down into Dreadnought, but Plow is what jumps out at me the most because they could just clear this, and that it is a good win con. Next turn we could Nile Spellbomb, which does nothing, but we could also Thoughtseize. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about Phyrexian Dreadnought coming out if we have another Thoughtseize first. I'm going to take the Plow. And leave a comment with the timestamp if you disagree with my take there. We do have Plow off of this for their Dreadnought if they manage to get it into play. Ponder. Seeing that they have 2 ways to get Phyrexian Dreadnought into play, we may have to just take the Dreadnought itself. I guess I could Dark Writ so I could draw through the Nile Spellbomb as well while I'm here. It doesn't do anything in this matchup. There's a chance that the Dark Ritual will pair with Fel the Profane, though, so I am going to hold it for that purpose. So their hand is Double Force, Thoughtseize, Dress Down. Double Force, Dress Down, Dreadnought, Stifle. I think if we just take the Dreadnought, we can just beat them down a lot. We don't know what their top card is. They didn't shuffle their Ponder. They didn't know we had a second Thoughtseize coming, though. Yeah, I think I just take the Dreadnought and hope that we can beat them down in time. I don't think it's likely that we succeed. I'm going to go ahead and just play out the Spellbomb. I don't think we're likely to be able to... We have a Face of Wasteland. They're not going to fetch a non-basic. We'll just play this out and we'll pass. Tommy is fine. I'm not afraid of Tommy. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to draw here. Another Swamp. Not what we wanted to see. I was coming for a hug here. I mean, we could Plow, but we're not doing anything. I think it's fine to let them have clues as long as we're going after the life. I think it's almost always a mistake to activate Douthie unless you got something super tasty under there or you're super desperate. And we could be like holding off Surveillant here with this Wasteland. So it's not nothing. All right, Douthie number 2. The Revenge. I think there's a decent chance that they force here just because we're doing so much damage to them. They could also take away the Shadow if they wanted to later. I'm going to go ahead and do this pre-combat just in case they make the mistake of like trying to Plow it or something. I don't think they would. That's a force. Okay, force is in the Void now, but that doesn't mean I'm going to relent. Got him at 10. Shadow is pretty powerful. Like, now they're at 9, so they're 3 cracks from death. Doorkeeper Thrall. That is scary. We can't do anything about that. Our sideboard doesn't actually have any good cards. Like, we're not going to bring in, Phyrexian, whatever it's called, Null, the thing that turns off ETB triggers. I can never remember the name. Torpor Orb. We're not going to be bringing that in against the Dreadnought deck. I mean, this is a Surveil trigger. I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it before combat. I don't think they're going to stifle it. I'd be stunned if they stifled it. They might be like, why is he doing that? Yeah, that goes in the graveyard. I was going to say that I hope that we got a Nethergoyf there. If at any point they have a plow or a prismatic ending, our offensive is completely stalled out. And keep in mind, they do have the dress down, so they can take this off and block later if they need to. They haven't pitched it, did they? What did they pitch? Oh, they did pitch a dress down. So their hand is Stifle Force, 3 unknown. Wasteland. That's fine. If you want to restrict your own mana when you have an active Tamio, be my guest. Okay, so they're getting close to dead. There's another Nethergoyf we wanted. It represents like a double creature. I'm going to go ahead and Goyf it up. 5/6. That's pretty scary. It can be stripped down to a 0/1 with dress down. Force on that. Love it. I think we just go ahead and bring him back. Do you have a daze? Let's see. How many instants do we have in our yard? I mean, I think it's unlikely they have daze, but there's no reason to open myself up to it here. I've got tons of mana. 1. So land. Instant. Sorcery. Creature. So we can bring him back a second time if we need to. Let's go in for a hug. Now then, they're going to need 2 removal spells. Crack. Draw. They drop to 2. They're going to need to start chumping. Null Drifter is no longer enough. They need to remove this. Brainstorm. That flips Tommy. That's fine. Tommy doesn't have anything to regrow. So she's just going to plus and debuff our squad. But that won't stop Dauthi from killing. All right, we got it. Shield Zeta comes in. Spell bombs are completely useless against this deck. I don't think they're playing Murktide. They might be, but I don't think so. And I guess I'll bring in Oppos just as additional aggression. They do search. Like, they have fetch lands. It's not a great card. That's sort of the only substitutions that make any sense in my mind. May actually make sense to bring in the other Oppo too. No, I don't think it's necessary. Let's do it. So, Thoughtseize into him hand. No action. But we're on the draw. I'm going to keep it. Hope that I can mess up their curve. They open Tundra. That's good for me. Please ponder. Tommy. I'm not going to waste into an active Tommy. Second him. Love to see it. I guess I'm not going to be wasting for a while because I need to fire these hymns off. We are vulnerable to like I'll have to take a brainstorm here. Okay, these are not great cards against us. We can take the Plow first. It doesn't matter the sequencing. Plow is the stronger of cards. So if they like had a brainstorm to protect it from a him, I would want to put the Plow back. They don't. I'm not even sure that they have a third color here. They have so many lands that I don't think wasting is even worth it. If they flip, we can just fell. We'll have enough mana soon. Yeah, especially if we draw that. It's him. Him, I win. It's like an old deck from Vintage from like 1995. Okay, they crack a clue. Just dilute the possibility of me hitting something good. I hit Dress Down. That seems like it's a good card. Their hand is Wasteland, Flooded Strand, Valk. Yes, they do have a third color in the Valk. Okay, so Scalding Tarn was unknown. Mystic Sanctuary. If they play at the Valk, I'll probably waste it just to keep them off. It's unlikely that they have a second one. They might have a second one, but that'll limit their ability to Prismatic End. But they've already used like one of the 3 Prismatic Endings. I think it's correct to just... I mean, I could get rid of this next turn. I think it's correct to just wait. I'll play this out in case I have to pay for days. And now I can Surveil in step. They discard the Valk in a Prismatic. Their hand is Wasteland. plus an unknown card that they just drew, and now they draw another. So yeah, like this is a problem for sure. I need to kill this, and I'm going to attempt to kill this next turn. I'm not going to fetch because I actually need to kill this immediately. It would really suck if they found a brainstorm off this. If they have a brainstorm, use it now, please. Because they can crack this and potentially find it. But I'm going to just be patient and fell. I'm not going to give them a chance to yeah, I can wait till their upkeep. That way, if they want to interact, they have to interact during their upkeep. Because I actively want them to flip it if they do get a chance to flip it so they have fewer clues, because I do have a second one coming. It's crazy this card has just soloed me. Okay, so now I can safely kill this, but I might actually want to kill this. Gosh, they just put me in a pickle, because if they have the Null Drifter, then I really need to kill Doorkeeper Thrall. Doorkeeper Thrall enables so much, but Tamio herself is just brutally powerful. I think I just go for the Tommy here, and then I kill the Null Drifter next turn. That at least means they're going to draw fewer cards, because they'll almost certainly draw next turn. So they can draw, but they're like, how likely do they have Daze? I don't know if they play Daze. If they have Forces, is Force Blue card or the only 2 cards? Okay, this comes in. So they have potentially 3 cracks at like the right card. Because they're attacking. I can't like kill this in response because I don't have mana, but next turn I can. They have the Null Drifter. That is a beating. Yeah, we have to fell that, and I think we lose from there. Like a Nethergoyf could potentially dig us out of this, but they've got 4 cards in hand. Another Tommy. Oh, the hits keep coming. Cecil. So we fell and we Cecil. I don't think that's going to do enough. We do probably need to get rid of the Null Drifter. Let's think about this. If we get rid of... No, that's just too strong. Because every single turn we're losing permanence. This Cecil can be blocked indefinitely by Tamio. That has to be by design. I mean, they could have follow-up threats if we just leave this. I'm going to go after the Null Drifter here. And we'll drop the Cecil. I think it's extremely unlikely the Cecil gets it done from here. They do have days. Okay, I'm going to scoop. That was a brutal game. Okay. So I do think we're favored in this matchup. I don't think it's like an extremely unfavorable matchup. We're a fair black deck against like a fair deck that has blue in it. Like, you always want to be the non-blue fair deck in these matchups. I think we just run it back. But that Tamio drawing them like 4 cards was pretty brutal. I mean, we did him, so we got card advantage, but they got more card advantage. Okay, so this is I think we just open Oppo, Dark Ritual Oppo. And that's the most powerful thing we can do here. Because then they mate, like their opening land is like a fetch land they can't even fetch. So we could wait around this, but then Daze gets turned on. No, it doesn't necessarily, but they may not crack immediately. I'm just going to go for this. And then we can follow up with Hymns 2 turns in a row. They force the Dark Rit. Okay, that's great for us. They pitch a Stifle. I love how they're respecting us so much. They did have the island, so actually, like, it wouldn't have been that devastating for us to play out the Douthie or the Appa there. All right, so options. I think the best option is just to him and maybe hit a land. We could Douthie and get the beats going, but the prospect of hitting a land is pretty sweet. We hit 2 lands. Holy cow. That was really good. Hopefully they don't... Like, Tommy doesn't do anything if you don't have lands or crack the clues. They had another land. All right, well, at least it's a wasteland and not a plains. So if we him, they're just going to get right back up to parity. So we do need to be more proactive than that. I think... Oh my goodness, I'm like tempted to freaking fatal push this thing. I think I'm gonna Douthie first, and then I'll him subsequent turn because they'll probably have a lot of cards in their hand. Okay, and then maybe we rip like, I mean, the dream would be to rip like a Null Drifter, dress down. Yeah, that's fine. So we're gonna be facing a pretty big thing, but luckily we do have fatal push. Unless they have Null Drifter, they have Null Drifter, we're screwed. They would have to have land Null Drifter, and that means they would have had to draw like a superhuman amount of land. Okay, they're opting to just let the dress down die. Okay, that's good for me. I have no idea why they're keeping this back. That doesn't make any sense. Well, I guess there was no benefit to attacking there. I'm going to go ahead and Fatal Push now. And if they have the Brainstorm, they have it. But I can attack and kill at this point. So it doesn't make much sense to Brainstorm here. Okay, that's great for me. Let's see, what do we have in the Void currently? We just have Tommy, which I'm not going to put in because it will go back to their side if I flipped it. Actually, I'd never flip it. Yeah, in the desperation, no, I can't imagine a situation where I'm desperate enough to do that. Another Wave being 3/4 is pretty sweet. I'm going to go ahead and just Another Wave first. Whenever you have Douthy out, it makes sense to do things before combat, just in case you need it. Okay, the draw. Let's come in for a hug. Next turn, we can him them. It's possible they find the combo, like a Phyrexian Dreadnought plus something else. They've been Krypton Mana the entire game, which is so sweet. Brainstorm. So they did have the Brainstorm, but they couldn't use it. We don't know that they had it, but we suspect they had it. They did see 2 cards there. They're looking at 7 cards right now. They just need a white source. That's a white source. Okay, they fetch around. Oppo. We've been Krypton Mana this game, but I'm not complaining. I've been getting straight gas from the top of my deck. Wait, yeah, that's great. So the Douthy's intact. That's the card that's much more disruptive. Okay, so Fel the Profane could give us Oppo, but I think it's too late. I think I just want to him him again. Okay, what do we get? We got an Null Drifter. So we can cast it this turn? That's how it works? Yeah, let's do it. I will play a Null Drifter, please. So we get the cards, and we get the freaking body. This is so sweet. The game is probably over now. No reason to play this out tapped. Or untapped. Now we got lots of mana as well. If they can borrow this back to their hand, it's really strong, but I'd be surprised if they're playing Brazen Borrow because they're playing Prismatic Ending. Usually you choose between the two. Ponder. Desperately looking for a plow. Our hand is freaking stacked. They can't waste here, but that would be a huge mistake considering that we're in such a dominant position. They have to clear this or they're going to start losing lands. Okay, another Douthy's not bad. Let's go ahead and attack first. I think I just let them block if they want to block here. You can sack a permanent. Okay, they sack the Wasteland. Take the damage. Now that I have Shielders Edict up, I think I play this out. It's removal, but like if they try to put something on the stack, I can Edict. And I have Bowmaster up as well. I'm going to play this untapped. 2 interaction spells up, potentially. I do want to kill this before I Bowmaster, so I still get the ping. They have 1 card in hand. I think it's game. Yeah, that felt amazing. Douthy freaking getting it done. See you in round 2. Round 2, we're up against likely Nadu combo gamer. Our hand doesn't really disrupt that much at all. It's pretty slow. Like Another Wave isn't even really that big. I think we mull. We're on the draw. We want something disruptive like a Thoughtseize. This is even worse. Oh, this is Baragorf. I mean, I guess I'm going to keep this. Do we want to use the Fel the Profanes? I guess I could probably split the difference. Yeah, I'll do that. Yep, super weak start, but hopefully they are slow to the gates. Slow out of the gates. They have played No, I was like, they may have played Cascades in the past, but yeah, this is definitely Nadu Cradle. Which is quite explosive. Fatal Push. I feel like Fatal Push is too good to use on birds, but it does slow them down quite a bit. I mean, I want to use it on Nadu, but I don't think we have that luxury. I just want to slow them down. This is like taking 2 mana from them if they have Cradle. I would be loath to even waste Cradle knowing that we've got nothing going on our side of the table at all. Shep. Doesn't affect me too badly as long as they don't have 6 mana. Okay, there's a Cradle and another Hierarch. Okay. Yeah, it's nice being like a non-counterspell deck and just being able to ignore Shep for the most part. Douthy's not terrible. I'm going to play him out. I think we're dead I don't think Barrel Wave coming down on turn 3 is going to be sufficient to stop this explosive start on their side of the table, but we'll see. If they have to actually go get the Nadu, and then they have to naturally find the, or they could, oh, you know what? I'm very excited about the prospect of putting Opposition Agent in my deck for the sideboard games. Yeah, they could Court of Calling to get Nomads. So we're looking at an opponent who has 15 copies. They play 11 search abilities, so 15 copies of Nadu and 8 copies of Nomads. That is kind of scary if they go wide enough, but they are down to 1 card. So if the last card is not like Greenstone Zenith, we're doing all right. Oh, they kept the top. That's bad for us. Okay, and then just keep making Allosaurus Shepherds. Okay, these are elves. And if they pay enough mana, they can make these gigantic. All right, so that's 3. I think we're going to die. I don't think we're going to get another turn because these are going to be really big. I'm going to play out the Beargoyf anyway. No point in keeping Douthie back. Felder Profane is too slow. So we do have the option of just hitting their graveyard. No, I'm going to play out the Barrow. And then I can hit their Cradle next turn. I don't think it's going to matter. But this has lifelink, and this can kill one of these things and keep me alive. No reason not to attack here. I can't block. Just F6. If we draw a land, we could potentially fell the Profane something, but like these are all generically just powerful beaters. It's not going to be enough. So these would be 5/5s. So they'd attack for 15, and we block, and we gain 3 life, and then one of these dies. So we'd be at 6, which is not enough to survive a second. Well, no, it's not enough to survive a second round with Barrow. Actually, technically it would be. Let's just hope it doesn't come to that. Yep, Greenstone as I suspected. Nature's Rhythm. I don't even know what this card is. Is this a new card? Search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less. Put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. Harmonize. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its Harmonize cost. Wow, like why play Court of Calling? Let's just print like a way better Court of Calling. This is what that tells me, is because they can just cast it from their graveyard. They have tons of mana. So I guess this deck's even better now. I mean, I'm not trying to whine too much. It is good. Like, really? Why would you get that? I guess it's an elf. It's still not lethal because of my Beargoyf. Okay, now they have yet another one. Okay, so now it might be lethal. If they have a plow. Okay. So they shouldn't attack here. Okay, well, I'm just going to block this one. And then they do the damage thing. I mean, I'm definitely not going to, like, fall for... Oh, let's see. Wait a second. Do we have to actually do that? Do they have enough mana? So they can untap a land. From a forest. Oh, yeah, they definitely have it. It's because the Cradle's untapped. Okay, I'll just block here. And they have to do it now just to kill my thing. Yeah. All right, so we'll take a lot of damage here. We're super duper dead on board because this is also an elf. I don't think there's any card we can draw here. Oh, by having Douthie out, we did prevent them from being able to flashback the thing. Okay, so let's say hypothetically waste this. They have 1, 2, 3. They don't actually have enough to kill us, I don't think, if we waste that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Barrow comes in. I mean, I could play a chumper off Douthie. I don't think that's strong enough. Yeah, I think it's better to just attack them. I could be wrong. I'm not thinking too much because this game is like so over. It's not even funny. Like, but my instinct is just keep attacking here, and yeah, I'll take out the Cradle. Now we'll F6 and we'll just see what they do here. They have to find 6 mana, and I don't think they have it. Even with the Quirion Ranger and the Noble Hierarch, I think they have like 5 mana. 3, 4 mana. Wait, yeah, that actually, I think that is actually enough because they can tap the Noble Hierarch, then they can tap the land, then they untap them both, and then that's 2 more. No, I think that's just 5 mana. That's not 6. Oh, okay, good. They didn't come in for a hug, but we're like super dead. This is not a good draw. I mean, we could Cradle. I don't think that's correct. If we attack, we're like super dead, but we could, okay, we could flip another Barrow. what are the odds that they don't like chump this? I mean, they would just chump with the insect. I'm going to see what I put in my yard here. Dark Rit goes in. It doesn't change anything. They could just go wide and block. I think Barragoyf is big enough. So if we sack this, it's a creature type. It doesn't change anything here. But if we cast this Nature's Rhythm, so I can only cast for 0, and I don't have any 0-drop creatures in my deck. So this would put a sorcery in the graveyard for Barragoyf. I don't think that's enough. I think I'm just going to attack and wait and see when they feel like attacking. They need more mana if they want to Alpha Strike me. All right, and my opponent followed up with an Endurance. So, yeah, good game. We're going to lose like all our, basically everything we can do here. And they have yet another attacker. Okay, that was not a good showing for this deck. I don't think we're well positioned to beat them. But Oppo is... Oh, Torpor Orb. See, do they actually have ETB triggers? I don't think they really do. I don't think Torpor Orb does much because those are all like activated abilities. Shield's Edict is pretty terrible. As far as cards that come out, I think the Spell Bombs can come out safely, and that means we can bring in one more card. Torpor Orb does have detrimental impact on our Bowmasters, so I don't want to take that. I think I just bring in a Shield's Edict. I don't think Unmask is the take here. Unmask could be good, but yeah, it's really just an anti. I mean, technically they're a combo deck, but yeah. I mean, this Torpor Orb is just the weakest card in the sense that like it stops Crater Hoof and stuff like that. But if they're resolving that, you already lost anyway. This is No Lander, Mulligan. This is another No Lander with our 23 land deck. So don't let anybody ever like say, oh, you're not playing enough land. We're playing 23 lands, and we're getting 2 No Landers in back to back. It does happen. It's a statistical aberration. And I think the first game we mulled twice too. So just par for the course. But the league's gonna improve from here. The first round was great. All right, let's see. Let's spin the wheel one more time, see if we can get lucky. This is not a great hand. I am going to keep it, though. I'll bin the Undercity Sewers, and I'll bin a Delta. We are going to probably have to waste them. Yeah, I want to be able to waste them if they have the Cradle. Crimp their mana a little bit. Again, this is not like a hand that I would normally keep, but it's a mold of 5. Our deck did not really give us a choice. You don't mold a 4. Not with a deck that has 0 card advantage. Okay, they have quite a good hand. I guess we just take one of the Green Suns, and then we'll take the other one, and then they'll eventually have Court of Calling, but it's WoW. The good news is they didn't have a Cradle. They just have a bunch of lands that we can waste. They go Trop, Hierarch. So that was their top deck, which is not a great top deck when they already have so much land. So we are going to be able to take their Thoughtseize here. I'll probably just hold the waste. Oh, that's great. So we can Thoughtseize and Surveil. And we'll just wait till end step so we have more information. I'm going to take this Zenith. Eventually the Court of Calling will be our undoing if we don't move quickly enough. But I'm happy with where the game is right now, considering we mulled twice. If we have nothing going on, we could waste and then Shield's Edict to just reduce their resources a little bit. Because they need a lot of resources to go off. We don't. We just play good stuff and win eventually. Okay. So the Court of Calling has to be taken out for sure. I'm going to Surveil. Barragoyf is sweet. Let's put him in our hand. So let's see. Court of Calling. So they have 1, 2, 3, and then they can play 2. So that's very close to getting Nadu. Yeah, I think we just Barrow now, and then next turn we do this stuff, and we take a chance on it, because if Barrow starts connecting, it's really good. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they would need an additional mana from somewhere. If they drew, yeah, I think it's correct to just Barrow, and then next turn, Edict and Waste. We're going to have to, but they'll still have the Court. I mean, we're not getting rid of the Court. We're getting rid of a Noble Hierarch if we Shield's Edict and Waste here, and we don't necessarily have a third land. So I'll do this in this order. Again, it may cost me the game. Leave a comment with a timestamp if you think that like this, and we'll see in a minute how it's going to work out. Okay, they're fetching. Surveil. Not sure why they're surveilling now. Okay. We know all 3 cards in their hand. They have to draw a Cradle or something that... There's the Nadu. They just had it in hand. So tilting. But I mean, like, they're going to get it. Good game. Where there's no coming back from this. They draw 6 cards at least. Okay, so I'll spare you the Nadu shenanigans. Let's jump to round 3. Just a quick note that even if I'd wasted there and if I'd done the play of waste and Shield's Edict, they would have gotten rid of probably the Noble Hierarch, and they would have gotten rid of the land. But they had another land, and it would have just slowed them down by a turn, I think, most likely. And we would have no way to get Baragorf out. So it was a calculated risk, and I stand by my decision. Round 3, we're up against an unknown opponent on the play with a pretty good hand. This is a Dark Ritual into... I think what we do is we Dark Ritual into Bowmasters and now Spellbomb, and then we can play the Netherglyph next turn just in case they're on a graveyard strategy. Because that would be embarrassing if we got greedy and played out the Netherglyph. But playing out the Bowmasters may stop them from doing an initial ponder. They're rolling to 6. It would be nice, of course, if we had, a Thoughtseize in the hand. It looks like they're on a combo. Unless they're just getting 2 no-landers in a row like we did previous round. Okay. So I'm going to lead with the Bowmasters because Spellbomb is actually, potentially the more important of the 2 spells. And maybe this gets them to force this and they don't realize that Spellbomb's also coming. And they're like, oh, that's good enough against my, deck. Okay. Spellbomb's in, pass. It's a pretty darn good first turn in terms of being disruptive and proactive. Strand, fetch, island, ponder. Haha, yeah. Bowmaster's doing his work. He's doing his job, getting those pings in. The bad news is we might win so abruptly that we don't know what our opponent's on. Suffering from success. I think we fell. And then we could Bowmasters. I think we Douthie. Douthie is disruptive. And then we had the Bowmasters in case they have their own Bowmasters to try to clear. And we do have the Netherglyph, which we can play out. Netherglyph does more damage than Douthie or Bowmasters. I'm going to play this untapped for sure. And it's just a question of do we Netherglyph or do we Bowmasters. We're going to telegraph that we have Bowmasters here. I think we Bowmaster for max damage. And if they daze here, that's okay. That's setting them back a turn cycle. Okay, so now we're maxing the damage. You could argue that Netherglyph would be a good play there, but because we have the Now Spellbomb and stuff. But I want to keep the Now Spellbomb around just in case they are on Blue-Black Tempo or Reanimator, which is the most commonly played deck in Legacy right now. Okay, so they could have their own Bowmaster here. Cecil Dark Knight. Do we play him pre-combat? My main concern is if they had the Bowmasters, they can take out both our Bowmasters and unlock themselves. If I Douthie now... No, I'm going to definitely Goyf and Cecil. I'm just going to attack with this, and I'll keep the Bowmasters back. Just in case they have Bowmasters, I want to still have one Bowmaster in play. I am more keen to get Cecil to resolve than Netherglyph. If they have a board wipe, it's going to be absolutely brutal. But I doubt they have it. They are under the gun here. Fetch. Probably Undercity Sewer. Oh, Tundra. Doorkeeper Thrall. I am fine with that. I am totally aware that Netherglyph could wreck me here, but... Or not Netherglyph. Well, it has to be Dreadnoughts. Cecil does have Death Touch. Wasteland is pretty good for them. So, a Fatal Push is really good here. Just another land is probably fine for playing out Douthie. Okay, I think that's fine. I can freely attack him with Cecil. If I now spam out, I might be able to find a Fatal Push, which effectively ends the game, but I only play 2. I think I'm going to go ahead and Douthie, Voidwalker. Yeah, Douthie first. That way if they interact with the, okay, they daze, that's fine. Because now we're going to attack with Cecil. They could block with the Doorkeeper if they want to preserve life. They drop to 6. We have enough blocking power to survive 2 strikes. Because we take 12, we drop to 2. Then we have... Actually, we can't survive the second strike. I could just keep Cecil back, but it's too late. I guess that was an option I had there. Well, they're not attacking. That's great for me. Okay. They're at 6. I could just freaking attack all in. Let's see. 1, 2. I think we just attack all in. Yeah, and even if they crack back, it's not the end of the world. I don't know how this gets blown out. Like, if they have a second Doorkeeper Troll, maybe. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this now. It doesn't get any better. I could have arguably done this beforehand. Fel the Profane doesn't help us. They're going to take a ton of damage here. They're at 2. Cecil deals damage to me. That's fine. I'm dead on board. Now I just play the other Cecil and it can block. And then they're dead. Unless they can remove this. They daze it. That's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. And the game's over, unfortunately. Had I just played this out, but it wouldn't have mattered because I would have taken lethal. Yeah. Wow. I can't believe we lost that game. Yeah. Maybe I should have thought harder about the Alpha Strike and considered that possibility that they would. Yeah. Okay. Well, Shield's Edict. It's crazy we're playing this deck twice. I don't encounter it that often. I think Oppo does come in. It's just something we can play footsies with. And then we take out the spell bombs. And then maybe we just bring in 2 Oppos. I think that's how we were boarding earlier. Okay. This is a Ham double fatal push. This is a snap keep in my opinion. If they waste this, is okay. We don't have any play, so I'm just going to play it out. Like, we will have another Fel. If they waste 2 lands, that's bad. But I'd be stunned if they're keeping in Wastelands. Like, that would be the first thing I'd be boarding out in this matchup. Shield's Edict. It's not really necessary. We have plenty of other stuff. I'm just going to bin it. Tundra, that's wastable. Ponder. If they shuffle, I might waste, but I don't have anything going on if I do that. I think I just want a Bowmaster. I might just play the Fel and him. I think it's probably actually the best thing. Yeah, they decided not to shuffle. They could very well have a daze here. It is tempo positive. Yeah, I think since they kept, I think it'd be a mistake to Wasteland. And just like the previous match, we're going to hope to hit some lands here, and then Wasteland can get us the rest of the way. Okay, we got a Null Drifter and a Prismatic Ending. Not bad, but not land. Seeing that Prismatic Ending vindicates my decision not to just go if there. Thoughtseize. I think we Thoughtseize and then we go from there. They could have Spell Pierce. Yeah, I'm gonna play this out first, just in case they have Spell Pierce. If they try to Brainstorm to hide, then I can Bowmaster. That's fine. They made Doorkeeper. Doorkeeper's fine. I'm going to see their hand, and I'll see whether they have any stack interaction. They don't. I think we just take the Ponder here, leave them with all the removal spells. Then they don't have I'll just take the Ponder. Then I'm going to push, and I'm going to waste. Actually, I could waste and then just goif. I think that's fine. They would have to draw exactly. They kept. Why would they keep if they... Yeah, I think they probably have a dude on top, whatever his name is. Dreadnought. So I think I am going to push. And then I'll waste. Okay, so their hand is 3 exile-based removal spells, and they have no white. That's good for us. So next turn, we can just goif probably. Okay, they kept because they had a land, I guess. All right, so that does make their hand a little scarier. We're going to need a lot of interaction to overpower that. I think I just go ahead and play the goif out and pass with Bowmaster up. It's possible they let this ride for a few turns. I doubt it. Yeah, we're going to need to overpower all these removal spells. There's the Archive, getting them selection as it fixes their mana. Dress down to the yard. Yeah, I don't regret pushing the Doorkeeper because they're like we could have legit lost. All right. Okay, so they are tapped out, and we can just get some damage. They're going to eventually remove these. I think it's better to be proactive and go ahead and Bowmaster while we know they can't daze it, because we don't have perfect information in their hand, do we? They plowed. I think. I could just wait. It's so tempting to just go for it. Will they even daze? Well, it's pretty free to play around daze at this point. I was just going to be a grown up, put on my big wolf pants. Him would be the best draw probably in our deck. Fel, Is it a land? I think we wait and see if we draw other land, though. I will Bowmaster Instep just to be mana efficient here. We're going to have to work through those removal spells eventually. I don't think we can rely on just randomly top-decking one of our 3 wastelands and wasting them out of white. And they're just going to plow immediately. Get the damage in. So their hand is 1 plow, 2 unknown. Barrow is good. I wish they didn't have a plow. I mean, like, I'll feel pretty embarrassed if we just keep top-decking Barrows. I don't think my life total is going to matter. I think I'm just going to play around days. I'm just going to play this out. And they'll... Yeah, I'm gonna be proactive here. Again, you can yell at me in the comments if you think this is bad play, but like we do have a lot of threats we're drawing to, and I don't want them to like, oh, I've got multiple threats and now I can't keep moving forward my game plan. Like if they're gonna plow us, they're gonna plow us. It'll be really embarrassing if I draw like a wasteland here, but I don't think that's likely to happen. So let's go Purge. Okay, so they had even more exile-based removal. That is an exile as well, so we're still sitting here without a lot going on. Wow, I am a dum-dum. I mean, like, the odds of us drawing that were low. It's good that we drew it, but, like, now we can't really capitalize. I don't think it's right to just hold. A Bowmaster would be good here just to up the volume a little bit. I will play this out. There's no upside to holding it. I can fetch the thin. I can also use this to turn on push, but, like, everything that dies at the 2-drop level also dies at the... like, everything that dies at the 4 also dies at the 2. Okay, they drew their second island. So their mana base is... Their greedy basics mana base is punishing them, which is good to see. There's justice in the world. Douthie. I should have tapped the other lands. I don't think it's going to matter. I've seen an increasing number of people playing Celestial Purge. This is pretty sick art. That guy is not happy that he's being purged. If they don't rip white for a few turns, yeah, it's carved deeper into their deck. Man, if they find Noldrich, it's going to be tilting. Wasteland, okay, that's good. Yeah, and they could have had Noldrich, but they didn't, so that was a huge win for us. All right, and now the Douthies are coming out in full force. I'm going to... They could dress down, and yeah, I think I do want to go and pre-combat Douthie. They could be playing... I doubt they're playing it, but they absolutely could be playing Wrath of the Skies, but they're too wide away from that, so I shouldn't even be thinking about that right now. And step dress down. They're very close to dead if we can get through this. Okay, that was hard fought. I mean, when you put that much exile-based removal, you still have to win the game. You know, you can't just sit back and like remove all the threats. But yeah, I'm sure they would have eventually won. I think we got lucky there that they didn't find more white. I don't have any changes to the deck. I think we just run it back. It is scary to be playing against a dress down deck when you have 8 Glyphs in your deck. This hand does nothing, sadly. There's no Island Ponder Keep when you're playing mono black. You just have to keep mulling. This hand is weak to Wasteland, but it's good against everything else. So I think we could put back a Dark Rit. I think that's a responsible thing to do. I mean, let's think about this. Fellow Profane, Dark Ritual, him, Thoughtseize, Douthie. Like, we could do 5 mana worth of stuff, and then we could keep Cecil. I could even Douthie first, and then Thoughtseize and him. Yeah, I think we put back Cecil, and then even if we get wasted, we just did a lot of things. I mean, this seems crazy, but I think it's correct. It maximizes the damage we do with this. Yeah, I'm going to do it. You only live once. Unless you're James Bond. All right. Let's see how crazy things get here. Okay, Barrow's good too. Let's play it. I would like to play 3 life here. I'm going to Dark Ritual. I'm going to Dark Ritual. I'm going to Douthie. They seem to be F6. I'm going to Thoughtseize real quick before they only F6. Holy guacamole. So, yeah, I think we just we take the Tommies. I don't want them to plow my Douthie. I think I take the Douthie, and then we just him and hope that we hit the Tommies too. 2 cards XL. What were they? We got a plow. I don't think those are great. Like, they still have a removal spell if they find a land here. They did find a land, so they can prismatic end our creature, which sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. So we're basically doing nothing now. And they've got Tommy next turn. Their hand is double Tommy. I mean, at least it's a redundant hand. Dark Root would be insane. Or we could just say here, yeah, this is the life we chose. If we gotten the Goyf out, it wouldn't have mattered. They would have just plowed that. Well, actually, yeah. If we Goyfed here, they would have only had 1 removal, but they would have gone for our Goyf. For sure. I think we've lost. We did the thing. We did our Timmy deck thing, and now we're just going to sit here and... Oh, that's actually a reasonable draw. It doesn't interact well with Tommy, though. But we are low enough that we might be able to trigger it. So now we're going to get to see which of these legendary creatures is better. They're going to attack here for sure. I mean, there is a world in which we just win with this, and they never clear it. Ponder. They would have to brick a lot. Okay, they found a land, so they can even flip this. It's not good for us. Clue, so that's flipped. We are going to just attack Tommy. We can't afford to ignore her. Okay, that's a great draw. So we get to take 1 loyalty offer. And like once this flips, we'll be taking 3, which is pretty good. So we take 1 damage. Actually, it slows down our progression a little bit. I didn't think about that interaction. So Tommy goes plus. I am confident they have good cards in their hand by this point. They've drawn a lot. They sculpted a lot. Null Drifter is pretty scary. If they have a Stifle, it's even worse. Okay, they didn't have the Stifle at least. Tommy 2. The Revenge. Can we draw land? Holy cow. That's pretty good. And I think we just go ahead and do this now. Before combat. So... we got 2 Dreadnoughts? Wow. Okay. And Goyf is big enough that, yeah, it doesn't actually matter. Unfortunately, because Tommy's big enough to block. So we're going to do 1 damage to ourselves. They're going to let the Cecil through. Tommy goes down to 4 loyalty. But I think at this rate, like, unless I can get another type in my graveyard, Netherwolf's not going to get there. Wasteland. Okay, that's pretty bad for us. So... a Fatal Push would actually be really good here. They are crazy if they're attacking. Okay, they choose not to attack. But they step forward like they were going to attack. So, little victory there. Okay, I'll play that out. I'm just going to attack both at Tommy. She is going to go off in 2 turns. Or actually, can she go off next turn? No, the turn after next. We're getting close to flipping. They have 1 card in hand. So Cecil will flip, and we will get a crack at Tommy with like a bigger creature. Oh, this is good. I'm going to go ahead and fetch and just... if they daze or something and it grows the Goyf, that's great. That we don't have a creature in our graveyard. We're still in this, is what I'm saying. It may not look like we're still in it, but I think we still are. If they draw half the deck, we're not in it anymore. They'll definitely be able to answer everything. Okay, what is this? Doorkeeper Thrall? Okay. So they made us think we were in it. Okay, so Doorkeeper dies. Cecil transforms. But he's just going to get plowed next turn. And they can minus and draw everything. Yeah, I think we're dead. I'm just going to let him go. We have plenty of time on the clock. This flips the other Tommy. So now they can plus. I mean, I'm trying to think of a situation. Like, they probably have a Doorkeeper Thrall. They probably have plenty of, removal. They have 3 white, and they can go fetch a 4th. So they can easily remove all the creatures from our board right now. They can also minus Tommy next turn to regrow a removal spell. So we get 1 card. Them playing a Wasteland instead of playing a White Source is kind of good. I mean, again, I'm just narrating the apocalypse right now. We're in the audience. We're way up in the grandstand watching as we've disassociated from our body completely. We're going to check out the ragdoll physics on this MTGO streamer. Tommy number 3. Doorkeeper. How many are we going to get? There's Null Drifter. Yeah, Null Drifter's in. Don't think we're going to dick them. Okay. We get an attack. These get debuffed. They are indestructible. We do gain some life. It's not a great draw. I guess we could just waste one of their lands. I'm just going to attack all. I think almost certainly that we're going to lose. Yeah, I'll just attack them directly. I don't think there's much merit to attacking Tommy. I need to get them dead. If they regrow a plow, that's fine. Like, the only way I win is they neglect to block Baragorf, which I can't imagine a world in which they do that. And then, like, maybe we rip, like, another Baragorf or something. Like, if we can somehow rip Baragorf faster than they can deal with our Baragorfs, so we gain a bunch of life. I will just waste. Well, no, I want to be able to pay for Annihilator. I think it's extremely likely that they just minus skip Plow. Wait, they don't have Plow. And they don't have a third color. This will go get the third color. And they'll exile the Goyf. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Another Goyf down. Or Baragorf down. Alright, we can concede. This is over. Alright, we did our best. Game 2 was really... I think Game 1 actually was the game that, like, I couldn't believe we lost it. But we did lose it. And I think it was the punt during the attack step. I think maybe I wasn't safe to Alpha Strike there. So I'll rewatch it and try to, like, figure out what the optimal thing is. If you leave a comment with a timestamp for how I should have attacked there, it's really helpful for me and for everybody else tuning in. See you in round 4. Round 4, we're up against a likely player of the kind of tokens deck. The white tokens with, like, blue for days and stuff like that. They're on the play. His hand slaps. Like, I love Dark Ritual hands, and I think as long as you got something to do with the Dark Ritual, you should probably keep. I think it's probably wrong to throw him back. So I don't think we go in on Baragorf. I think what we do is we Dark Ritual him Goyf in that order, because him is more important resolving than Goyf is. We can bring Goyf back. And then we gradually play out Swamps, and I probably will play Swamp instead of Surveilling just to get to Baragorf sooner. More reliably. Uh-oh. Petal. That's not good. Buyer of Industry. Okay, they're on 8 cast. Oh, they're on Painter. All right, I see how it is. This is not good. This is not a good matchup. I think so they're probably on Blue-Red Painter, which seems to be like the flavor of the month. I think it's good. I'm going to go ahead and just Dark Rit. They're not going to daze me. And we have to hope that we hit some good stuff with this hymn that can't just be brought right back with the Goblin Welder. Dot cast and stuff like that. They discard. Oh, wow. Broadside and Engineer. That's an insane series of draws that we dodged. They would have curved so perfectly. I'm so happy to rain on their parade. All right. We got our Beats out, and they've got 2 cards in hand. Let's hope they're all dressed up with nowhere to go. Like, I was really worried we'd dump a Painter or something that they could just bring right back with that Petal, because Petal's probably a dead draw, or relatively weak right here. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of mana. Opal? Okay, great. Please don't have anything to do with this mana. 3 mana. Oh, they're just getting... What are they playing? Gigantha. Oh, great. Actually, that's kind of a pain. It's 5/5. And they have 1, 2... They actually can cast it next turn? Yeah, that's a big creature. Okay. Well, they have 1 unknown, 1 Gigantha. I didn't even see that when I was like looking at their doing the research on the deck. It's cool though. But I'm very happy to not have to deal with Engineer specifically. That card is just a nightmare. So Bowmaster is pretty good for pinging this. I think we proactively use it just in case they have something to do here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and ping. And then I'll attack. I think Baragorf is going to carry the day here. Like, Gigantha will trade with like one of these. And if they have any draw effects in their deck, we're going to prevent them from being able to use those. Or we're going to make it awkward for them to use them, rather. Okay, so we'll hit them for 3. They do have an Ancient Tomb out, so we're doing some damage. They will have to use this. Wait, they can't tap the pedal. They don't have the artifacts. They need another artifact to cast Gigantha. Yeah, both of these lands do damage to them, so they're under the gun here. Gigantha doesn't have any relevant. She adds mana. Okay, this is a new card. Refurbished Familiar. Affinity for artifacts. Flying. 2/1. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, you draw a card. Okay, I will happily discard. Well, I'm not going to happily discard it, but I will discard this Bargoyf. Because I don't want to discard the land just in case. I mean, yeah, I think it's more important to have a Bargoyf arrive next turn than to, wait around. Yeah. Leave a comment with the timestamp if you strongly disagree with that decision. As always, I appreciate your feedback, as long as it's polite, and I don't mind if it's very brutal and candid. Okay, so we would have been okay with something to cast, but I'm definitely going to go in with a Goyf here. You don't not go in with a Goyf. And then I'll probably just leave the Bowmaster back. As much as I want to press damage, I think Bowmaster does probably do a lot against their deck. Unless I'm fundamentally misunderstanding. I think they're a Thoughtcast deck. So you've got them on a 2-turn clock, essentially. Even if they block, I think it's 2 turns. Well, they won't block this turn, I don't think. They're so low in life. I don't see a path out. They would go to 3 here, and they would definitely be dead, despite having blockers. No, they could potentially survive a turn. Okay, cool. I was just going to say Gigantha because it's so fun to say. Gigantha. It's such a cool name. I should name my third born that. All right. I'm not going to have a third kid. All right. Let's grab the Shieldred's Edicts. I think they're... let's see. I mean, they have the Engineer in their deck. I think... is it worth bringing in Oppo for Engineer? I don't think it is. Now Spellbomb is live. It's not fantastic, but it is live. Torpor Orb actually stops. Torpor Orb might be worth it because that card they showed, the Harpy thing, that would get stopped by Torpor Orb, and it stops Engineer. I don't know. My instinct is to not, I want to be careful not to overboard here. Bowmaster is good. Yeah, I don't really see anything to cut is the thing. I think we could cut some now Spellbombs, but I mean, they might also be generating tokens. We don't know. Well, they're definitely going to be generating construct tokens. I'm almost certain they would have constructs in their deck. I can't check because MTGO or MTG Goldfish is acting funky. I think I just revert. Yeah, I'll just do it like pre-board until I see more of their deck. They're playing a cool brew though. Shout out to Dominique Tudor for experimenting and experimenting in the fair space. That's always appreciated. I don't think this is a keep. Felder Profane. I mean, it's just we Dark Ritual into him. It doesn't seem good. This is double Cecil hand. I think I'm going to keep this because I can put a Cecil back and then I can just swamp Cecil and then subsequent turn I can Douthie. And if they play something that has to get out of their graveyard, I can Spellbomb. Starting Town. What? Holy cow, this card is so cool. Tap, add 1, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. Okay, yeah, so it's just like a better... Yeah, it's like a better City of Brass. Man, are they on 5 colors? Why are they playing these cards? Okay, Lava Spur. Yeah, they must be on multiple colors. Because I thought they were blue-red, but why would you play that if you're just on blue-red? So Cecil comes in. He is the Dark Knight. By the way, classic movie if you haven't seen it. I can imagine that 0.01% of people watching this haven't seen The Dark Knight. But if you have not seen it, you should see it. Okay, they've got Metalcraft now. Oh, wait, they don't have Metalcraft. Man, I love the art on this. Refurbished Familiar. All right, I'm just going to drop a Spellbomb. Yeah, I think the Spellbomb was the least important here. I could be punished. I mean, I could drop the Felder Profane because I'm going to get a land and then I'm going to just Douthie 2 turns in a row, but Felder Profane, we might need to kill a creature later. Yeah. It's nice to put an artifact in the graveyard if we find one of our 8 Goyfs. Another one. Okay. And then this time I'll dump the Felder Profane. I'm going to try to pile on the damage really thick here. That is a cool card, by the way. And, okay, so they're on at least Grixis. That makes sense. This is a really cool card. I love this card. It's got cool art, too. It's a cool concept. I love value cards that have like cool ETBs. And this is nice because like they started doing this recently. Like, even if your opponent doesn't have any cards, you still get a card out of it. So it's like it's never like a dead effect. Okay, so we're gonna come in for an attack. I'm not gonna shoot. Well, actually, I do want to show them the Douthie. I think because like if they double block here, I want to be able to refurbish Familiar to them. I can cast this. Wait, I can cast it off Douthie too for free, so it's not a big deal if it goes to the yard. But I'll go and play Douthie first. And if they want to attack me, it actually helps me here. That's the thing about Cecil is I think it's gonna kind of be like maybe it'll be like a Psychic Frog type effect where you're like disincentivized from blocking it. And it just like solos certain decks. I'm not sure. It's too new of a card for me to know, but it feels strong. I mean, the fact that it's a 2/3 death touch, like the losing life is not a big drawback. The fact that it gains life makes it awkward to play in like Death Shadow. I don't think it's going to find a home in Death Shadow. I could be wrong. This is definitely the card in Final Fantasy that stuck out the most as a powerful card, though. Okay, so they're doing some sort of this could be Blastoise. Yeah, there he is. That's fine. I can attack through him. I might be able to race him. Opal. It does buff him. They're down to one card. Oh, they could Lava Spur and attack. Yeah, that would be pretty good. But then I get to like flip and do tons of damage. I don't think it would be correct to do that. I hope they do it. You know you want to start hitting me in the face. Yes! Cecil is going to flip, and we're going to... Actually, we might die. Never mind. I didn't mean to... Don't attack me. I didn't realize, like, I'm going to take 4 here, plus the 7. Yeah, I think I'm actually dead. Wait, what do they have in exile? That's just a Mox. Yeah, that's not going to be good enough. Okay, so what could we draw here? Like, Shieldred's Edict. Oh, Dark Ritual. Let's see. Dark Ritual doesn't do anything. I mean, we definitely want to attack with Cecil and get the flip, but... if they have an artifact in hand, there's no blocking. So I think all we can really do is hope that they don't have an artifact in hand. I'm not going to hold back the Cecil. Because if they don't have the artifact in hand, they can't give unblockability. And then this will be flipped. And then that'll block it. Yeah. All right, we're just going to do as much damage as we can. This is 2 to us. We drop to 8. Now we get our flip dude. Going to play another Douthie. I will play the land out. There's no disadvantage of playing it out. I should have played it out. Just I don't think they're going to have days. They don't have islands in their deck. Apparently, all their lands are, janky 5-color lands, rainbow lands. So if they don't have an artifact through some miracle, we survive. Bad lands. Okay, the first what is this? Don't tell me this is another artifact. Oh, broadside. Actually, broadside. Does that kill us? They can throw at this. Yeah, they can kill this. I think we're dead now. Okay, so we'll see how they do this. But they should just throw at this, and then I can't block these. And I will take lethal, very lethal. They're throwing at me? Is that lethal? Oh, that was exactly lethal. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think they could have also just thrown it at Cecil and done that. Shieldred's Edict is an answer to Blastoise that I was kind of hoping that I drew, and it wasn't even on my deck. Against an aggro deck, I do think the Thoughtseize come out. We could take out more Thoughtseizes. I don't think Oppo is great here. I mean, it can jump out and surprise block. Is it where we want to be? I think we don't want Thoughtseize at all, is my instinct, because they do a lot of damage very quickly. See, Torpor Orb doesn't affect Blastoise. It doesn't affect... And by the way, I keep saying Blastoise. I'm saying Kappa Cannoneer. Blastoise is a Pokemon, if you don't know what Blastoise is, and it looks exactly like the turtle. I don't know. Everybody calls him Blastoise. It's easier to say than Kappa Cannoneer. Yeah, I think we just do that. All right, so ideal hand is still like the Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, Hymn to Torok hand. That's the dream. This is not too far off from that. Yeah, this is Cecil into him, into Barry. I'm here for this. Let's keep it. I think Cecil, like, coming down turn 1, I mean, it's very much like an obviously pushed Tamio-like card. Like, I don't know if it's as powerful as Tamio, but, like, this is obviously a very good card, and they knew what they were doing. They knew they were making some insane card that was going to be a total nightmare for people in there. kind of like Dark Bowmasters. It like forces you to like really recalibrate and get better as a player. So I like these cards that are objectively like powerful, but they still require a lot of thought. I don't like cards like One Ring where it's just like, oh, you just play it and you tap it and you draw cards and it's easy. Like this is so much better design in my mind. Okay, I mean it's clearly pushed like Ragavan was pushed, but yeah. Okay, so we can waste this. I think that's more useful than hemming them. Is it? We waste them and then we hem them 2 turns in a row. We could just go ahead and fell and then attack. They create a dude. I mean, these dudes could get pretty big. I'm kind of scared of waste because I do want to barrow. My instinct is to go ahead and just... Yeah, we can waste and then we can do it next turn. I don't want them creating constructs and I don't want them searching. So I'm putting my big boy plants again. I'm being disciplined. When you're playing a Dark Ritual deck, there can be a temptation to just like, yeah, go for it. Just play like you're like that dude that still brings his like 90s pile to the FNM and stuff. And like he's like, wait, Demonic Tutors banned in Legacy? Like that's a real conversation I had to have with somebody. But like there can be a temptation to just play like that dude. But I do think you just need to think tactically and still play. Like even though you're wielding raw power, like your hands are made out of like flaming napalm, I still think you need to be a little bit delicate and think about we don't know what's in their hand. Oh my goodness, my gracious, that is a flawless draw. I will have to wait on the hymns, but we have to take this out. It's too good. Wow, that was insane. Absolutely insane top deck. I don't like to hymn into an active Goblin Welder because you could just put like something insane in their yard. But now that Welder's out of the picture, I'm going to be hemming and hawing and laughing my butt off. Okay, Ancient Tomb. So they might explode and they may not have much of a hand left for us to hymn. It's worth noting that all their lands do damage to them. I'm feeling very good. Stoneforge, respect. Man, their deck does it all while dealing serious damage to themselves. No wonder they're playing Rainbow Lands. Oh, we've seen 4 colors so far. I guess Gigantha is technically 5. Shadow Spear. That's out. I mean, that's a good card, but it's not going to save them if they don't have material on the table. So I think we just him here and keep beating. Y'all him first. I mean, I could go in with Orc Army token just to deal a little cheeky damage. And maybe they don't block because they don't want me to kill this. I think that's cute. I mean, I'd rather just hang back and have a guaranteed blocker against like, some crazy broadside onslaught later. No, I'm going to go for it. I tapped and then I untapped, so I kind of like bluffed that I had another Bowmaster. It didn't work. They're too smart. Saw right through my ploy. Okay. So we're going to draw here, and I feel like a horse's patoot, but leave a comment with the timestamp if you think that was a reasonable bluff. I mean, we already know how it worked out, but... Okay, we got a Plow and a Refurbished Familiar. Not bad. We're still screwed on mana. I doubt they're playing Wasteland in their deck. Wait, did they play Wasteland in previous games? I don't know if they did. I don't think they did. I don't think in their deck it really makes sense to play it, but the world's a weird place. Lands is a big deal. 12 plus is a big deal. People to lose into Caverns even though they have tons of Force of Wills in hand. If anything gives me hope, it's the fact that they are too far from Blastoise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think they can Blastoise here. They tap to 8. 7. Broadside. Yeah. And that's a good card. No denying it. They can definitely kill my Cecil here. If they want to fling the... I'm going to take it. It's a lot of damage. Broadside is a heck of a card. I don't think we win now. They did throw at Cecil, so that's a bummer. Okay. Next turn, I think we're probably dead. Yeah. We can him them. But they have 1, 2, 3. They probably have lethal. They could equip 1, 2, 3. And then they throw something. They could throw another 3 at us. We're not dead. I'm going to go ahead and him. That's all I can do here. It's my only legal play, really. And then I will attack with Bowmaster, who cannot block. We got 2 refurbished. That's good, because they could have definitely cast those. Hopefully they just rip like a land or something, and we survive long enough to get a Barrow on the table. I think Barrow's going to be too slow. I think we do need to edit the broadside out somehow. Opal. That is more stuff they can fling at us. Now they can equip and fling. Yeah. But we're still not dead. They can fling for 2. They could hit our Bowmaster if they wanted to. They gain 3 life here. Do they get life for this creature? So they get life when they throw stuff too. Wow. Yeah, Shadow Spear is really good with broadside. I didn't ever think about that. So they should just throw like the pedal. Well, if they throw the pedal, it shuts off the mocks. Maybe they don't throw here and they just wait. Literally, like Fatal Push, Shield Zedic, those are the only draws that save us here, because we're definitely dead. Barrow's not going to save us. Wow, they passed. That's so good for us. That is a little bit of hope. Okay, so again, Barrow's not going to save us here. Oh, okay. So check this out. They attack. We flash in Oppo. We double block. They can throw the Shadow Spear itself for 3. They don't have anything else they can throw that deals enough lethal, like that deals lethal. And then maybe, just maybe, we survive long enough to get a Barrow Wave. I'm just going to chill. Actually, what they can do is we double block and then they just throw it at the Oppo. But then we can Oppo again the subsequent turn. It probably is a moot point. They're probably just going to kill us somehow here. Oh, so it has trample, so I think we're dead anyway. All right, so we're going to have to go down to 4 here. So I'm pretty sure that they just throw... I mean, this potentially gives us another look. They can throw now before we block, but they can only throw at one of the creatures. What's this? They're casting a spell? Fire and Ice? What would this be? A Braid? Yeah, that does it. Good games. Well, congrats to Dominic for building a brew that beat this deck. I think this deck is really strong that I'm playing right now, and I didn't expect to lose that. See you in the final round. Final round. We are not doing so hot. We are 1-3, but let's see if we can salvage the 2-3. Opponent's on likely Beanstalk control with Yorion. This hand is pretty good. I like the Thoughtseize. I kind of want to get on the table with Cecil so that they don't hit me. Well, they're on the play, so it might make sense to Thoughtseize just to prevent them from going up the Beanstalk. I think I keep this hand, though. The deck does play 23 mana sources, so we're likely to draw another one over the next 2 or 3 turns. They play Strand Pass. Okay, I think I'm going to fell. This may tell them that I don't have another land and that they should waste me. But I want to get on the table with Cecil. We do have Bowmasters if they do get a Beanstalk out, but they're playing 80 cards, so it's less likely they have it. All right, we're in. I do think 4 is the right number for Cecil. I was down to 3, like a previous league. I just did a dry run with him. And yeah, I was playing a Reanimate just as like a 1-drop. And I think that it's just better to just go to 4. I mean, it's a pushed card. Okay, this is the Beanstalk. I can't do anything about this. I do have double Bowmaster, though. Interesting that they're choosing to play Badlands in their Beanstalk deck. A color that is neither green nor blue for Murktide or Beanstalk purposes. Him is fine. I'm going to come in for a hug. We could wait on the Bowmaster, but I think it's probably smarter to just go ahead and play it out because we have a second one. And if they force here, it sucks, but I don't really want to Thoughtseize at this point. I want to keep applying pressure. All right, we're in. So they'll probably have to remove this, which is fine. But if the way they remove it is like a Leyline Binding or something, then that's good for us. This is the Bant land, by the way, if you're unfamiliar with these. Taps for Bant colors. Generous Ent. Does this mean they have Reanimate in their deck? That is some gnarly art. Look at that thing. I'd be terrified. They do have domain now. Leyline Binding, so we are going to get a ping. So we'll send it to their face. And then next turn, we're just going to play another one. And we're just going to keep pressuring them. They may take Cecil. I doubt it. I think they're almost certainly going to take Bowmaster. We do have a window to cut them off blue, which might be worth doing. We'll see if we draw land. What? They're going for that? I think that's loose. Maybe they're playing something like Terminus. So that's why they're not sweating it. But I would definitely sweat it there. Okay, so we can flip. Yeah, I think we flip her. Flip him. Sorry, I know I keep doing that. Then if your life total is less than or equal to half your... Okay, less than or equal. So 10 does it. So we're going to shock. Yes, I'd like to pay the life. I think it's best to go ahead and just waste them first. And then we Bowmaster again. Because I don't want them to daze. If they have a plow, they can use it. If they are like Desperation Brainstorm, I'm here to punish that. Oliphant. Wow, they're playing a lot of these cyclers. I am really intrigued as to what they're playing over there. There's not really any reason to... I guess I could Thoughtseize and Nethergoyf in the same turn cycle. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and Thoughtseize. And then Nethergoyf. That just puts a lot of power in, and we can at least take one of their good cards. Okay, so I probably could have done this before. Whoa, Bloodbraid Marauder. Man, there's a lot of weird cards in this deck. We're getting 2 back-to-back brews. When Terra enters, mill 5 cards. Put up to 1 enchantment mill this way into your hand. Okay. Trance. Exile Terra, then return it to the battlefield transformed. Okay, and then it's got a bunch of transform text. Bloodbraid Marauder. Okay, so they're on a freaking... so Bloodbraid Marauder is almost certainly the take. They don't have Delirium yet. They do have a land, so they can play out Teferi next turn, which could be a pain. Teferi could reset Cecil. Grist could create a Chumper. Will the Forgotten is a terrible card that shouldn't be played in Legacy, in my humble opinion. There are 8 or more permanent cards. Wow, they actually have a lot of permanents, don't they? I mean, could they get Delirium? They could. This is a blocker. This is a 4-2. I think we take this because this mills and potentially turns on Bloodbraid and Grist. Man, this is an interesting deck. A lot of rainbow decks out here today. So I guess this is a legendary human wizard. Okay, so they have creature, land. How are they getting 3 types? Oh, 3 creature cards. Okay, yeah. All right, I think we just come in for a hug here, and then I'll just Nethergoyf. So this will flip. And if they want to spend a turn Teferrying and bouncing this, that's okay with me. I'll just hit him again, and they will take a ping from the... yeah. I'm not sure that this was the correct take, but... I mean, they could find a ley line off of it, which would be bad. Yeah, I guess I said earlier this is not a legacy playable card, but it could be played. Here, it might be good. Target as far as... I think I'll seem pretty weak modes. Yeah, that's fine. So, my instinct is to just ignore Grist. I guess I could ping this out of the way. I could also just go for the him. And if I ping this out of the way, we can just attack with this, and the other 2 will take care of their life total. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I think you're seeing like very powerful but cute interactions versus just brutal efficiency over here on my side of the table. Let's clear that. Let's go ahead and attack. This will kill Grist. This will attack KCC. So he's got a fun name to say. KCC. Gain some life. Pass. Beargoyf's not a bad reload if they do somehow manage to get rid of our stuff. They've got 2 unknown cards in hand. Well, the Forgotten can bounce this back to hand. This does not have 8, right? Oh, they have 8? How do they get 8? Well, that's embarrassing. Yeah, I guess we're going to get... they're choosing to look at the top 3 cards. Okay, they scoop. I don't understand. Did they actually have 8? Because it looked like only one mode was highlighted. All right. Okay. So Torpor Orb is pretty damn good here because they have like the Bloodbraid Elf type creature. Opposition Agent seems really good here because they're going to be searching a lot. Shielder Zeta can deal with these Planeswalkers way better than Fatal Push in my humble opinion in this matchup. I think hitting the graveyard is probably actually pretty good. So now we have to decide, okay, is opposition actually worth it? I don't know that it is. Children's Edict are 1-for-1 substitutions. I think like we could cut a Nile Spell Bomb, maybe even 2, because they do have like they're clearly a strategy. Yeah, I think we should keep these in because they're clearly a strategy that like tries to resolve that 0 mana. I can't remember what like Living Death or something. It's like a modern card. Oh wait, you know what? That card is Cascade. I think it's not a Torpor trigger. So I'm just gonna do it like that. I'm pretty sure Bloodbraid Marauder, is that the name of the card? Bloodbraid Marauder. Oh, come on, show me the card. It's not going to show me when I mouse over. Okay, I think we're fine without the Torpor. We've upgraded our removal for the situation. This is not going to be a fast matchup. We're going to have some time, I think. So Fatal Pushes make less sense than Children's Edict. Children's Edict is by far a better card in most situations, but Legacy is a fast format, so that's why I main the Fatal Pushes. I mean, this is a Nethergoyf plus Dark... Yeah, I think this is a keep. It sucks that we have this Undercity Sewer, but it might be okay. And yeah, I'm going to keep this. And I am just going to go ahead and put my cards face up on the table. There's no real disadvantage to going ahead and fetching now because we're going to have the Undercity Sewers in hand. Okay, now we have Barragoyf as another option. I still think it's better to just get Bowmasters and Goyf out because Barragoyf is like going to be small for a while anyway. And then if they play something out, we can edict it. If they don't, then we can just chill. This is more important than it resolves in case they're playing Daze. Ping their face. Goyf comes down. It's already a 2-3. Can only grow from here. Yeah, we've had explosive Dark Ritual hands a lot this league, and I'm here for it. I love Dark Ritual. I think Dark Ritual is the reason to play black instead of white. Like, white is more stable. Black is more explosive. Because white also has good hate cards and good beaters. Emperor of Bones is a good card, for sure. We're going to Children's Edict, but it's going to take one of the cards out of our graveyard. Yep. And I do think this is a Children's Edict, even though it slows down the arrival. Okay. Now it doesn't even slow down the arrival. We can just Barragoyf next turn off Swamps. I love having so many basics in my deck. Hit you for 4. I love this deck because it has just enough interaction to get you over the line, the finish line. Ent, Savannah, they're not quite the domain, but they could Leyline Bind for 2 mana, right? Green, white, black, blue. Yeah, they can Leyline. So I'm going to go ahead and swing in and just force them. Oh, fell. I mean, they could have Bowmasters. They are playing black. It wouldn't make sense to play a card like Emperor of Bones if you don't have a Bowmaster, but maybe they're trying to use Generous Int with it. I'm a little skittish about playing this Bowmasters, but I think I'm going to attack with everything. Yeah, if they want a Bowmasters here, they can trade 2 for 2. Okay, now we're going to Goyf and hope that they do not have Terminus. Colossal Sky Turtle. Okay, that's a cool card. Yeah, I mean, you have to have stuff beyond just Emperor of Bones to justify putting kind of janky cards like that in your deck. Trawler, that's fine. It does impact me negatively. I think I might just fell the... Well, if I draw a Swamp, I might just fell the Profane it out of the way so I can keep the beats going. Like a fetch would be ideal. Oh, or I could just draw freaking Bowmasters. Thank you. That is ridiculous. Hit you, and let's see. Like, I'll just put anything in the graveyard to grow the Goyf here. Yeah. And now we're hitting for 4, which is not bad. They are nearly dead. If they have cantrips in their hand, they're not going to be casting them. Scrubland, okay. They have a Plow. Mountain Cycling, that's fine. Yeah, they could put like their entire board on the table, and I think we could probably still outmuscle them with Barragoyf. Maybe that's a... No, if they get to put all this stuff on, we're probably dead. That's a big if. They're at 5. We can clear one of them and Barragoyf. None on the same turn cycle. We did it. That is a 2-3. Beating one brew, losing to another. Beating Cecil Stiflenought, losing to Stiflenought. All in all, like pretty fun. I had a great time. Those are really fun interactive decks. I think Legacy's in a really good place. I mean, I'm not to say that I wouldn't ban Entomb and probably ban like the annoying Oops All Spells creatures, but like I think there's tons of format diversity right now. These Final Fantasy cards seem totally fine. I haven't seen anything that's like over the line. Like it was very obvious when Frog was printed that it was going to be extremely powerful. It was very obvious that the One Ring was going to be ridiculous and that Orcish Bowmaster was going to be ridiculous. I didn't see anything like that in Final Fantasy. I think Cecil's a great card. 1 mana, it's just really freaking solid. There's Caracas that can bounce it. Maybe people will be playing and the great thing about this type of card is, Caracas is a natural pressure valve. It's not card advantage like Ragavan was or anything like that. But this is definitely the most aggressive, like the best 1 mana aggro spell printed in a while, in my humble opinion. And I say that having played 2 leagues with it. It's not overpowered though. It's just a good card in my mind. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks as people brew. The deck feels great. I mean, I don't really have any changes that I would make. We didn't really bring in the Unmask, but I think every match we played was fair, which is crazy. That was great. Having a lot of fun with Legacy. I hope you are too. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.